So today I've got a really beautiful dish for you. It's my bitter lover salad. I've been really obsessed with bitter leaves and bitter greens lately. So that's what all of this is about. It's basically enhancing those bitter flavors. First up, I've got some ruby grapefruit. What I'm gonna do is segment them. So to segment any kind of citrus fruit, you're just kind of getting rid of that outside layer, like so. Now don't cut too deep, just because you do want to keep a lot of that flesh, because I'm serving that in my salad. Look how beautiful these colors are. So the reason that this is a bitter lover salad is a play on the fact that all my ingredients are quite bitter. The color's quite beautiful, so it's deep purples, reds, and oranges, and pinks. Let's get rid of all of the pith and all that skin that we don't need. That there is my grapefruit. What I'm gonna do is literally slice my knife through here and then here along the pith and just kind of let that fall out. We're just gonna repeat that all the way around. This recipe is a recipe for two, obviously, because it's bitter lovers, but I've actually never had a chance to serve this on a date. It's always been for family and friends because I can't seem to get a date. So that there's my beautiful grapefruit, all segmented. I'm just gonna set these guys aside. And then with this bit of grapefruit here, what I'm gonna actually do is not get rid of it, but just squeeze it straight into a pot or saucepan to get all of that beautiful juice out and into our syrup that we're gonna be making. So usually when I use blood oranges for this recipe, I would actually slice up and segment 2 blood oranges and juice 1. But I find that with grapefruit, it's a lot more kind of juicy and there's more segments. So I'm probably only gonna need to segment half of another grapefruit and then juice the rest of it. So I'm just turning the heat on my grapefruit juice. I'm gonna add a little bit of lemon juice into there just to up the acidity. We've got some maple syrup here now to add a little bit of sweetness. It's my bitter lover salad, so it's kind of like a play between sweet and bitter flavors. I chose the maple syrup just because I find that it creates a really beautiful color when it caramelizes and becomes very syrupy for the dressing. I've got some orange blossom here and that kind of plays on that whole bitter sweet. So it's like that bitter pith of an orange, but you get the beautiful floral that's in it, which is quite gorgeous. So that's going straight in. We're just gonna let that come to the boil and then I'm gonna turn it down to a slight simmer just so that it can reduce over the next 10-15 minutes. So I'm just now gonna add a tiny pinch of salt into this syrup that we'll be reducing just to kind of enhance all those flavors. Now to move on to the salad, I've got a giant bowl here. We're gonna roughly just kind of tear up some radicchio. Look, I love my bitter leaves right now and I just wanna be quite rough with them, just let them kind of fall in. You're probably going to only need half of this guy. It's quite a compact kind of leafy ingredient, so you won't need too much of it. So that there's my radicchio done. I'm gonna add some endive to the salad now as well. Again, it's got really similar colors. It's a lot denser and really quite beautiful. I have this a lot with nuts just because I think that the creaminess and the toastiness in nuts really brings out a beautiful flavor from the endive. So I'm just gonna break some of these leaves off. They're just gonna go in like that. And then once I get to the kind of the heart of the endive, I'm gonna actually cut off a bit of that stem and just give him a nice quarter. Just so you can see all the beautiful structure inside of it. Absolutely gorgeous. That's gonna go in. Doing the same thing with my second one. Give it a nice toss so everything kind of combines together. Now, if you want to come back and have a look at this, you can see that the color from the grapefruit is actually coming through the top. It's quite beautiful. Just going to give that a nice little gentle mix. The syrup's going to be really golden by the end of this. Next up, I've got some beautiful strawberries. So the point of the strawberries is to balance out the bitterness in these leaves. And I kind of also love that when you slice a strawberry, it's like little hearts. So we're just gonna slice all of these guys and just throw them straight in. Maybe reserve 1 or 2 just to garnish with a little bit later. So I've got some olive oil here. That's just gonna go in. Again, bitter, beautiful. A little bit of salt, just to enhance the flavors already in the salad. Some black pepper, which I'm gonna grind in. I'm just gonna place that straight onto a serving platter. Beautiful. So that salad is done. I gotta move on to my complement. So with that, I'm gonna actually spoon some ricotta and just dabble it here, there, and everywhere. We're gonna scatter some beautiful wedges of this grapefruit just around the plate as well. As you can see, you can tell why it's kind of a lover salad. It's just so vibrant and full of color. So our beautiful syrup, I think, is done now. I'll show you the gorgeous color. As you can see, it's quite golden, absolutely gorgeous. That's gonna dress our salad. It's quite hot, so it's gonna actually wilt some of the leaves, and that's exactly what you want, because you're gonna get some fresh leaves and some wilted leaves. It's a beautiful play on temperature and texture. So I'm just gonna let that drizzle all over the top. I'm just gonna place a couple more of these strawberries just over the top for the freshness. We've got some pine nuts here that I'm gonna scatter over the top just because it goes so well with the ricotta and also the orange blossom. We're almost done. We've got a pomegranate left, and I was gonna pre-prepare him, but when I opened the top up, it was so beautiful. I just kind of wanted you to see this. So beautiful. Look at those little wedges. All right, time to get them out. So I'm just gonna slice down this pith here to help it come out, and here, where that other white pith is, the other white pith. And then I should be able to pull this so that the skin will come out, exposing that flesh. I'm just gonna literally scatter this right over the salad. Just gonna let all of these beautiful pomegranate little jewels kind of fall out, little rubies. This again adds a little bit of acidity, a little bit of sweetness, really complementing those bitter flavors. What I love about this is literally, it's so inviting visually that you just kind of want to dive in and try and figure out what all the little things are and taste all the components. And when you do, you're gonna fall absolutely in love with it just because of all the different contrasts in flavors, from the bitterness of the leaves to the sweetness of the strawberries and the ricotta with that syrup and that grapefruit. Give it a go at home. This is my bitter lover salad. You are gonna fall absolutely in love with it.